Alright, hi guys. I'm just going to give you a quick tutorial on how to use a shrink wrap machine that I've just got set up behind me. It's just this one here. Basically, if you've never seen one before, don't worry, they're very easy to use. They're very durable, you can't break them. And as soon as I've shown you how to use it, it's pretty straightforward. If you've ever bought like a DVD or a CD from a store, and you've seen that they've wrapped them in nice plastic shrink wrap, well, they probably use something similar to this. We obviously use this for our notepads, so our DLs, our magnets, our A4s, A5s, our clipboard packs, and also our gift sets and gift boxes. So, alright, well, yeah, let's get into it. I'm just going to give you a quick overview on the shrink wrap machine. So, as you can see, this is what it looks like. It's got some very good instructions here, so have a good read of those. That pretty much steps you through how to work this thing, but I'll also give you a quick demonstration on how this thing works as well. Basically, the on-off button is here. So click it on, off. There's also a shrink wrap timer there, so that's set on 5. Just leave it on that, that should be fine. This is the shrink wrap film that we'll use. This is the arm or the handle. Basically what this does is this actually cuts the shrink wrap and also seals the edges. So I'll show you how that works later. There's also under here, this little bar here is, I don't really know what it's called, but I'll call it a splitter. Basically it's used to open the shrink wrap so you can, when you pull it through, it will create an opening for you to put your products in. So yeah, just make sure that's inside when you're using it. And the other thing is this thing. So this is the heat gun. Basically what this does is this applies heat to the shrink wrapped product to essentially shrink wrap it. So I'll show you how that works as well later. But that's basically it. Make sure all the plugs are plugged in properly. There's a plug here for the shrink wrap heat gun. Down here, it's turned on. Kind of treat this like an iron, so you don't want to leave your iron turned on overnight or for long periods. So if you're not using it, it's good to get into a habit of just switching it off at the wall or even just unplugging it if that helps you remember. But yeah, so that's basically what the unit looks like. So I'll give you a quick demonstration next. Alright guys, I'll start with giving a demonstration on how we wrap our magnets. So basically, the width of the shrink wrap, we can actually do 3 magnets in one piece. So what I've done here is I've just lined up 3 magnets here, and I've just put it up against, just the ridge of where the bar comes down on. And I've just placed it there just to get the measurements. So actually, first I'll turn the machine on. It doesn't take any time to warm up, so as soon as you turn it on, it's ready to go. So I've lined up the 3 magnets. I'll grab the shrink wrap and I'll pull it through. And I'll pull it through just enough to cover the magnets. So I've got about a centimetre, it hangs over about a centimetre off the base of these notebooks. And once it's in place, all you do is get the handle, press it down, and then just hold it down firmly. So squeeze it down. I'm putting a bit of pressure on it, and you'll hear a little click. Once you hear the click, it means it's ready to be released. So it's usually about 5 seconds. I'm holding them down for a lot longer. You don't need to hold it this long, I'm just doing it for demonstration purposes. But and then once it's clicked, you lift it up, and hopefully it'll just come off. So I'll just tear it off. It gets a little bit stuck in the middle here, so when you're applying pressure, just remember to apply a bit of pressure on the middle of the bar as well. So once you've cut it, you've got a sheet of film just like this, and this is enough to fit 3 pocket notebooks in. So once you've cut it, grab a notebook, and in the opening, you just have to feed it through. So I'm going to be out of frame, but you'll get the picture. Feed it through. So once you've fed it through, it pushes it right to the bottom of the bag, and it's sealed on both ends. And then with this piece, what you do is, with the shrink wrap roll, just roll it back a little bit so that it's not in the way of the bar. Feed this back through, and then just push up the magnet so it's right up against the base of the arm. And then once it's in place, just do it again, just hold down the handle, squeeze it down, you'll hear a click, and then as soon as you hear a click, you can release. Once you've released, times or 3. So again, place the smart in the zone. To the end, put it back up against the rail, and then press down again on it. Seal, and for a third time to get the third one. Again, you can also put one of these underneath if you need a bit of height. Just up against the rail again, press down, hear the click, and then release. And then that's pretty much all you get left over. And 3 sealed magnets. And then I'll show you the next step is to use the heat gun, but I'll get to that next. Alright, okay, now we've got the 3 magnets here. They're ready to be shrink wrapped with the heat gun. Oh, I'm out of frame again. So basically what we do with these is when we apply the heat, we turn them upside down because it's always best to start with the back, because when it shrinks, if it looks a little bit messy on the back, it doesn't matter as much as if it looks messy on the front, so that's why we just start with the back. So turn them all upside down, grab the heat gun, grab the heat gun, basically, you're probably wondering why I put it upside down. It's when you actually use it, the heat gun gets really hot, and hot air rises, and if it's upside down like that, the hot air just goes through the gun and it can actually melt some of the parts in it. So that's kind of why I put it upside down, but I think they're designed to be put this way, so it doesn't really matter which way it is, just a preference thing, up to you. But yeah, there's two speeds, so there's slow speed and high speed. Just use the slow speed on this, that's fine. So I'll just go back down. So turn it on slow, and the way you do this is you kind of start with the edges. So just go on the edges, and it magically shrinks and wraps the notebook. And don't go too hard or hold it in one spot for too long, because you can actually burn a hole in the shrink wrap if you do that. So just do that. I'll just show you what it looks like. So what I've done is, okay, so that is now kind of shrink wrapped on the back. Should get that in focus. And before it looked like that, so it was kind of loose and baggy. So what the heat does is it actually just shrinks the plastic and wraps it around. I'll show you what the front looks like. See, the front hasn't been done yet, so it's still a little bit baggy. We'll do the front next. But as I said, when you're shrink wrapping, just work the edges first, like work the corners to corner to corner to corner with the heat, and then once that's shrunk in, then you can start working your way through the back, and that just tightens it all up. So once I'll actually try and do this like this. I'm left-handed, so I'm going to use my right hand for the gun, which could be dangerous. Alright, so start with the corner, go down to the corner, and then back up again. And that should tighten it all up, and then just work your way through like that. And that's it. See the distance? I'm not holding it too close to the notebook, because I don't want to burn a hole in it. If you burn a hole in it, no big deal. Just take the wrap off, and then we'll just start it and wrap it again. But that's wrapped now. And with this one here, it actually has bubbled up a bit. We can fix that a bit later on. So now the back's done, we'll just do the fronts. I'll just pop this down again. Oh, sorry for the shaky cam. Alright, I'll just do this quickly. And again, work from corners again. Do the edges first, and then go to the middle. Corners again, corner, and then work way to the middle again. And this one, corner, and then work way to the middle. And once that is done, sometimes they could bubble up because it's actually captured some air inside the pack. These two are actually pretty good. This one here has got a bit of air in it. Now if it's got a bit of air in it, all you do is you get the safety pin, and in one of the corners, you'll see like one of the corners will probably be a little bit bunchy. Just put the safety pin through it. Just poke a little hole in it, like that. Not sure where you saw that. And then just squeeze the air out of it. You'll hear the air out. Okay, once it's all squeezed out, then just apply the heat gun again, just to tighten the plastic. And over. And there's pretty good. And this one here is pretty good. So the idea is just to get all the wrinkles out of the wrap without going too hard to burn a hole in it. So it's just a balancing kind of, you know, skill, I guess. But there you go, that's it. So they're pretty much wrapped and ready to go. So that's the pockets. I mean, not pockets, that's the magnets done. Alright, so let's do it with the DL notepads now. So they're exactly the same width as a magnet. So again, 3 across, I can make it with one sheet. So I'll line them up again, pull out the shrink film, and again, let it overhang about 1.5 centimeters, 2 centimeters, something like that. And once it's nice and smooth, press down on it. See, I'm putting a bit of weight in this, so I'm pressing down pretty hard to hopefully get a nice clean cut. And wait for the machine to click, and then you can release it. Yep, okay. So, alright, so that's a piece of shrink film that we'll use for these 3 notepads. Same again. Just be careful when you're putting these in, because sometimes the corners of these can actually tear a hole in the shrink film, which you don't want to do. But again, go through so that it goes right to the bottom of the bag. And then again, once it's at the bottom, we'll seal it up. So again, just roll this back a little bit to move the film out of the way, and then put this through underneath. And then again, just line it up to the edge of the rail again. And once it's nice and flat, just press down, hold for about 5 seconds, and then release. And hopefully this will come off nicely. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So that's done. Continue with the rest of them. With the film, there's no top or bottom with the film, it's just, they're both the same size. So, put that in again, line it up against the rail, get it nice and smooth, and press down. Hold, and then release. So, yep. And third one, press it in. And with this one here, because we've only got a little bit of film left to play with, you can always raise it. Let's go this notebook and I'll put it underneath just to give it a bit more height. And then, so just so that it can have a cleaner contact line seal it against the rail. So if you do mess it up, you can always try and reseal it a little bit down there. Because I've raised it, it's actually gotten in the way of the bar, so that's why it hasn't sealed as nicely, but there we go. Okay, so that's done, and there's a little bit of a, there's a bit of excess there, so we can probably trim that off too if we want to. These ones are too. So there is a little bit of a brown mark you can see on the bottom here on the rail. That's like where it's burning a little bit. So if you're doing this, just try and avoid that and you'll be good. Okay, so that's it. So 3 deals. Sealed and ready to be shrink wrapped with the heat gun. Alright, so we've got all 3 of our DLs here. We're going to seal them again with the heat gun. So we'll turn them upside down again because we'll start with the backs first. And similar to the magnets, we'll work just on the low speed and we'll work from the corners. So just do the corners and then work your way through the middle. And then corners. Right through the middle again. Corners. And then work your way through the middle. Okay, so they're all looking pretty good. And now we'll turn them over and do the front. So corners. Look right through the middle. Corners. And then they're all looking pretty good. Now just check that they're not, they don't have any air inside. So this one's, yeah, they've all got a bit of air in it. So what we do again is we get the safety pin and we'll just poke a little hole in the corner. And same as this one, poke a little hole in the corner. Just squeeze the air out, you can hear the air coming out. And then here again, just poke a hole in the corner. Squeeze the air out again. You can hear the air coming out of these ones. And once that's done, just work your way on the back again. So on slow speed, just seal them up, make it nice and tight. Turn them over. Okay. And they're pretty much done, so that's it. Alright, so when I was doing these, I just thought of a few other pointers that I just want to share when you are shrink wrapping them. You will invariably see that some of these will have these little spiky bits on the ends. That's totally normal. A really easy way to fix those is, I'll just show you now. Just get the heat gun again, and where those spiky bits are, just hit it with a little bit of heat and then just use your finger just to push them down. Just like that. Push them down. So all that does is just melts them a little bit, and then you can actually just mold it back so that they're not spiky anymore. There we go. Yeah, and be careful of this. This is really, really hot, and you don't want to blow this on your hand either, because it gets really, really hot, and you can actually burn yourself with this thing. So that was one of the things that I thought of. The other thing was when you're checking them, if it does split, it will likely happen along one of these seams. So just be mindful when you are checking them that if any of them have split, if it's a really nasty split, then just open it up and then just repackage them. That's no worries, and just throw the wrap away. And also when you're checking them as well, just be mindful of any dust that sometimes gets caught inside the shrink wrapping. So we try and keep these products pretty clean, and if there is any dust inside that you see that looks pretty nasty, open up the packet and then just re-shrink them. That's no dramas. So yeah, that's all I can think of at the moment, but yeah, I hope that helps. Okay guys, I also thought just to show you what a blowout looks like. It happens, I actually just accidentally did this one. I didn't do it deliberately, but I thought I'd take the opportunity to show you what it looks like. So that's kind of, see the hole there? Not sure if you can see that on the screen. But yeah, so if that happens, it happens. Don't worry, just peel it off, and this notebook will just, or this notepad will just go back in, and we'll just shrink wrap it again. So just throw that out, and it can get redone. So I just thought to show you that as well. And don't feel bad if it happens, because it happens. Alright, so once you've finished working with the machine, just remember to turn it off from the switch, and also to just switch it off on the wall. Oh, sorry, extreme close up. And also unplug it as well when you're done. So that's about it. It's pretty straightforward. Again, there is operating instructions, so you have to read of those. They're very straightforward. And yeah, if you have any questions, yeah, just let me know.